Well, looks like the first of every month comes in with fresh things and good news for the club of Arsenal. This time around, it's who is back. Guess who is back? Mikel Merino, who really got injured during his first training session at the Sober Training Center, is back and he has started training with the first team of Arsenal. And it looks like he has been training way back, but they wanted to obviously put it out as the huge news into the last training session that Arsenal held before they really take on the side of PSG today at the Emirates. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where you're watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. We are calling in for 200 likes on this video as we welcome back Mikel Merino into the mix, obviously see whether he can make it to the match squad today as Arsenal prepares to take on PSG. And remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets. Mono Gadgets are dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. And if at all you need used phones and used laptops from the United Kingdom, go ahead and do the needful and really call in that number. +256 70 99 88 665. And all that is really history into the making. Now, as things stand, I would like to let you know that things aren't really going on well for the opponents that Arsenal are really going to be facing, because when you hear that the injuries are really reducing, you obviously get something, you really get baffled if at all you are to play Arsenal, because if Arsenal is going to hit to win the first 6 games, Arsenal has won 4 and drawn 2, right? That means they've been struggling because they've been missing lots of players, and one of the most important players is back. That is Merino. Why is Merino very important? Merino is very important because he's really going to give another multi-layer into that midfield in the club of Arsenal, in shielding the back four, winning the old duels, battling it out, finding the final pass. I told you one of his qualities, he's a long-range ball passer, and he's the architect or an architect of what we call those overballs, like ball over the top, and he can obviously put in that ball to see to it that he really causes a lot of trouble to the back line of the team they're really going to be playing. So him coming back is a very huge boost, and we people who don't support Arsenal are really worried, because the bench of Arsenal now is really going to be looking huge and better. But I'm going to be really talking that and more after I really let you know what really broke, or who really broke the story. It was this guy, Simon Collins. He's an Arsenal correspondent of the Evening Standard, told us that Carafiori, Merino and Tomiyasu all back in training for the club of Arsenal. Now, for Merino, we all know where he has going to hate to be. And for Tomiyasu, we've also going to hate to get to know where he has been. But for Carafiori, I'm going to be really coming up and really tell you why they say he was really back into the Arsenal training, right? Because most of you are like, he played the entire Leicester City game and we never really got to know that he's really injured. But the fact is, the player had really gotten an injury, but he healed on time and his recovery was confirmed and assured when he really showed up into the training session today as Arsenal prepared to play or take on a team known as PSG, that is today at the Emirates. Now, Kaya Kanak, Arsenal correspondent for the Football London, came out and told us that Mikel Merino is in training with Arsenal squad ahead of the game against PSG. So he was like, by the way, during the trainings, during the even if you check out the entire pre-match press conference of Mikel Arteta, I don't think that Mikel Merino was in or involved, and he never really, I think, said about it. But all in all, he came up and obviously put in the shift, and it was an open training, and everyone was like, oh, Merino is here to train with Arsenal for the second time ever since he really got himself injured. You remember that very well, that the player in the names of Mikel Merino was injured in the first training and his shoulder was really twisted after he went ahead to collide with the man known as Gabriel Magalhaes. And by the way, I would like to give kudos to the physio team of Arsenal, because they're working tooth and nail. And the other reason as to why I'm supposed to thank him is, look at the injury of Martin Odegaard. It's said that Martin Odegaard might obviously return after the international break, and yet we thought that he was going to return towards the end of November, and surprisingly, October might be one of, or mid-October, might be really might obviously be so late for him to return, because looks like he can even come back early enough. And don't be shocked over the weekend when Arsenal is really going to be playing a side called Southampton at Emirates, him being to the squad of Arsenal. So Merino is back, and obviously this is hand of Ozil giving us another huge update about the guy known as Mikel Merino. And he told us that Mikel Merino completed full first team training today with no concerns. I'm told the midfielder has a huge chance of making the squad of PSG tomorrow. Tomorrow, or in today's tie against PSG. The midfielder is pushing hard to be included. So, looks like Mikel Merino has gone ahead, obviously, accomplish the training session, and all has been positive, and it looks like he has gone ahead to impress the manager. And we all know to it that every player who takes part into the open training session, prior to the Champions League game or UEFA Europa League game, has a chance to obviously take part into that beautiful game of football. You understand? So that's exactly what we've gone ahead obviously get in here. And I tell you what, it is really very important to note that this guy is really coming and he is really doing the best of the best. So that is Mikel Merino for you, and he's pushing to obviously make it to the squad of Arsenal. And I tell you, by midday today, we will be getting news onto whether Mikel Merino is obviously up and running to really do the needful and really take this to the levels that we all want it to be at. And what are the levels we want it to be at? Obviously, it's all about one thing. It's all about him being available. So that is Mikel Merino for you. And he took part into the training session, and it was really confirmed like that. Now, before I really break down his return and how it's important to the club of Arsenal, I think let me show you a little bit of photos on how he really appeared into the training session. That is Mikel Merino, talented, and he's really that towering lad in there for you. So this is Mikel Merino into the training session of Arsenal and doing the due diligence, and this is him tackling Gabriel Jesus during the training session, and this is the man obviously in the gym trying to obviously do the first phase of the warm-up before he obviously hit the green grass to obviously meet up with Riccardo Carafiori. And these are the two signings that Arsenal had obviously signed on expensive money. It was Riccardo Carafiori and Mikel Merino. Those are the two players that Arsenal had obviously signed on huge money. Raheem Sterling, not huge money as anticipated. He's on loan, but Arsenal pay him £160,000 a week. That is Raheem Sterling for you. So Merino was with Riccardo Carafiori and really went ahead obviously have a very good time together. Now, when it comes to the return of Mikel Merino, I think it's one of the hugest news that you'll ever want to hear as a fan of Arsenal, because he's a very good player and we all believe that he has the quality and talent to add a lot. I told you that when he returns and hits the ground running, he's really going to get a starting spot into the team of Arsenal. Why? Arteta would like to play Odegaard, Merino, and Declan Rice into that midfield, or Thomas Partey, and that is really going to be the ideal midfield three of Arsenal, because he has very many qualities. You've gone ahead to see to that Arsenal has gone ahead to really resume scoring set pieces, and in the previous 3 Premier League games they've gone ahead to play, that of Tottenham Hotspur, that of Man City, and that of Leicester City, they've gone ahead to score at least one set piece in all those games. You understand? Meaning that they are really relying onto the aerial prowess of players like Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. Now, another player known as Mikel Merino is back in here, and his aerial prowess is really out of his world. When you look at Gabriel Magalhaes, I think he might be the tallest at the club of Arsenal. His height is at 1.9 meters. And let's see, Merino. How tall is Mikel Merino? Mikel Merino Mikel Merino is 1.88, meaning that he's just less by 0.12, 0.02, to match the height of Gabriel Magalhaes. And obviously the tallest is Saliba. Saliba is 1.92, followed by Gabriel Magalhaes, 1.9. Now they have another player who has a very beautiful height of 1.88 meters. You understand? When you look at Declan Rice, he's 1.88. He's also the same height as Mikel Merino. And I think these signings are not being done by mistake. They are done with a huge intention, because the manager knows to it that they are having a very good set-piece coach in the names of Jova, to come in through and obviously do the needful. So we wait and see how that is really going to be panning out. But I tell you, a lot is really great. Already he's really doing fine, and let's wait and see how things are really going to be panning out into that beautiful game of football of PSG. And we are going to be here to see whether the manager is really going to get him into the squad, and him getting into the squad, I tell you, when they're playing PSG, he'll be getting his debut, not in the starting 11, but off the bench. And if he really gets minutes against PSG, that means he will be in line to obviously even start when Arsenal is playing against Southampton, because the manager, Mikel Arteta, needs his services hugely and badly. So guys, I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about Mikel Merino back in first Arsenal training session. Remember, the first training session, he injured himself. He collided with Gabriel Magalhaes, and his shoulder really went ahead, obviously not feel great, and it was injured and has been off for some time. So remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets. They are dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops, and if at all you feel like you want them to obviously do the needful and sell you these products, call them on +256 70 99 88 665, and you can as well follow them on TikTok. Go to the search bar and type in Mono Gadgets. It will appear there and then. So we out for now. Bye bye. Good morning. 1st of October. Happy new month, my mates.